I'm looking forward to this. John Kennedy O'Connor is not only the author of the book, the Eurovision Song Contest, the official history. He's also a mad keen fan of the spangliest event on Europe's calendar. He's at the Eurovision venue in Copenhagen. He joins us now. John, wonderful to speak with you again.
It's great to be back with you, Scott. And what a build-up, what an introduction. Yes, the spangliest night of the year is here again.
I say this with the greatest respect. What's the point of Eurovision?
Well, as Yumi was saying, the prize for winning this is like a 40 billion euro headache next year. That's about all you get out of it these days. But no, it's the wonderful chance for Europe to come together. Have fun. It's the biggest party in the world. You can come to it and say, wow, that's a great song. You can say, oh gosh, I can't stand that one. And whatever your opinion is, it's completely legitimate. It's just a great time to get together and have some fun.
OK, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here because that's just the role for Scott and I in the studio here, John. We can pay out these acts and say they're trashy and have a laugh, but ABBA won Eurovision in 1974 for Waterloo,
yes.
So they made it. Celine Dion's also won, Julio Iglesias. So you'd have to say this is also a bit of a kind of, stomping ground for new talent.
It can be, absolutely. Now, in fairness, let's not pretend otherwise. It has been the death knell for several singers as well. I mean, Engelbert Humperdinck, Bonnie Tyler, they've never been heard of again. But no, you're absolutely right. And of course, they were celebrating the 40th anniversary of ABBA's victory this year. And don't forget, Olivia Newton-John's been here, Gina G's been here. Australia's had a lot to do with Eurovision over the years.
And has something to do with this year as well, John, with Jessica Mauboy performing there, not in the official competition, but nonetheless performing there. What do we have to do to get Australia in Eurovision? And don't say move the continent closer to Europe.
Well, now, it's funny you should say that, Scott, because if you actually watch the second semi-final, Australia are doing exactly that. There's a really, really cute piece with SBS's Julia Zamora. I'm not going to give too much away, but make sure everyone in Australia is tuned in for that because they're really trying this year to be involved. And you're absolutely right, Jessica Mauboy is singing in the semi-final. She's come all the way from Darwin. She's got an Australian astronaut with her as well. I'm not going to give too much away, but definitely keep an eye on that one.
All right.
John, give us a sense of what it's like to be there at Eurovision. That media centre's massive. I can only imagine the life that goes on outside this competition of fans and people coming to watch. Just paint us a picture of what it's like to be there.
It really is incredible. I mean, our hosts have been amazing, but they always are. The Swedes last year, the Azeris the year before, they really want to show the world what they can do. This, I don't know what you describe it, this concrete box behind me is actually where the venue is this year. They've created it from a disused shipyard. They put so much effort in. There's a Eurovision Island that they've created this year. Our Danish hosts have done wonderful work. The excitement is huge. There's going to be 10,000 screaming fans in the auditorium for each of the shows, each of the semi-finals, each of the final. I'm commentating this year for San Marino. Thank you so much for including Valentina in your montage there. It's our first time ever in the Eurovision final. And here is San Marino, population of 32,000, competing against Russia, population of 250 million. You can only get that in Eurovision.
Now, talking of Russia, do broader Euro politics seep into Eurovision, John? For instance, is Ukraine likely to get the sympathy vote?
Yes.
Is Russia going to get booed? Although those two young women representing Russia seem like sweet young women, but nonetheless, are they going to get booed?
They've already been booed. When it was announced they got through into the semi-final on Tuesday, they qualified as one of the 10. I've never heard booing as loud as this in Eurovision. I've been coming here a long time. In fact, the booing was louder than any of the applause. Now, whatever you think of politics, whatever you think of Russians' attitude to the rest of the world, these two young ladies have nothing to do with that, and I felt sad for them. It's a song contest, and they came here to put their song out. But yes, I think Ukraine are going to get a big sympathy vote as well. But maybe they'll just get a lot of votes because they have a hamster wheel on stage. Who knows?
Oh, that's terrific.
John, we don't want to preempt...
Yeah, it's the Eurovision circus. Sorry, I was going to say we've got a hamster wheel, we've got a trampoline, we've got a trapeze act. The only thing we're missing is a bearded lady, but Austria have taken care of that.
Yeah, we were actually just looking at that bearded lady who seems to possibly be a gentleman behind the... can't figure it out. Anyway, John, we don't want to preempt who might win, and we don't want to put you on the spot, but is there a sense of who the favourites might be at this stage? You've still got at least, 15 to get through tonight.
Absolutely no. There really isn't a sense this year. If you talk to anybody, everybody's got a different answer. I've been sticking with the UK since I first heard it. I think it's between the UK, Austria, our bearded lady there, and the Ukraine. I think it's going to be one of them. But there's a huge amount of support for the Netherlands that has sort of come from nowhere. It's a grower, that one, and everybody loves Sweden. Armenia are actually the favourites, so who knows where this is going to go. I'm going with the UK.
And you once told me, never go with the best song. The best song doesn't win. So from years of watching, years of studying, years of experience, John, what are the hallmarks of a winner? Who or what wins Eurovision?
Well, yeah, I can't believe I ever said that, Scott. But, yeah, no, it depends on who emerges in the field. I mean, it's all comparative. It's all about where you are in the draw, who you sing after, who you sing before, and it's the one that just rises to the top and shines. And that's why I think Austria are in with a chance. That's why the Ukraine hamster wheel is in with a chance. But who knows? I mean, I don't know. But it's just going to be the one that really everybody gets behind on Saturday night, and it could be any one of the 26.
John, what happens to Eurovision winners? We've spoken, obviously, there are a few that have made it big time, like ABBA and Celine Dion, but do you hear much of the winners past the competition?
You know, it's difficult. You know, a lot of them are sort of tagged with Eurovision. The irony is, of course, technically it's the song that wins. So they love that song, and then they release their next single a few months later, and everyone goes, oh, I don't really like that. You know, acts like Katrina and the Waves or Lordi, who won the contest, Eurovision is not their thing. So their Eurovision winner were great. Everyone loved it, but they didn't really like the other kind of music they've been doing. So it's a tricky one, and that's why I was saying earlier, you kind of get painted with the Eurovision brush, and that's difficult for a lot of people to shake off. But no, I mean, within Europe, Loreen is very big in Scandinavia. Last year, Emily's winner. She's still very popular in Denmark. But I think it is very hard for them to make that international breakthrough.
John, after all this time covering it, seeing it, putting up with some excruciating acts as well as the fantastic ones, do you still love it? Do you still get excited about turning up?
I do. I mean, I get totally exhausted. I mean, doing the commentary here is so wearing. We have to do it 4 times for each show, and we don't leave the arena until like 1, 2 in the morning. So by the middle of the week, you're so exhausted. But yes, I've never lost my love for it. There's nothing else like it in the world, and everybody's here. You know, we're talking about Russia being booed and all those things that are going on. But really, it's just a big community of thousands and thousands of people here and millions of TV viewers coming together just to have some fun.
Well, John Kennedy O'Connor, we wish you all the best. Have a great time. We're slightly envious of you here. Thanks so much for taking the time out to chat to us.
And John, I still
It's a pleasure, Yumi. Thank you, Scott. And we hope to see you here next year.
Absolutely, mate. In fact, I'm holding on to the dream of you and I doing a duet in the Eurovision. Let's aim for next year.
Scott, it's a great idea. I'm going to hold you to that.
See you, mate.